Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to Author's Excerpt Sunday. Today we have a special guest. Her name is Zipporah Israel, and she is the author of I'm Pretty and Positive and Unique. This is a affirmation book for our young ladies for the ages of maybe 5 to 10
I would
am
say
I
7 to 7:14, but 5 they can't actually start because it's that simple read. So we'll get into that.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Miss Zipporah, how are you doing today?
I am doing excellent, excellent, and more excellent.
Okay. Have you done any hair today?
No, on my Sundays, no, not at all. I have done a lot of housework, but no hair.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, I want to give y'all a background about Miss Zipporah Israel. And Miss Zipporah Israel is a mother, an author, entrepreneur, and hair braider and hairstylist. She's born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, in the year 1985. She has a heart of gold and always has a love for herself and others. Even though she had many challenges in her life, she didn't let the negativity of her upbringing bring stop her from accomplishing her goals. Although hair braiding is one of her passions, it is definitely not the only one. She learned the skills to make other people look good on the outside, but also wanted to expand that skill and create positive affirmation journal to possibly help others to feel good from within. Her path of positive education started at the age of 10. For the most part, she was self-taught and has over 20 years of hair braiding experience. She recently received her hair braiding certification to begin teaching young girls how to braid hair and how to um, show their love, show the love through, which is doing
Beauty
other
from
things.
within. So it's pretty much bringing the outside beauty. You can get your hair braided, but
Mhm,
if you get your hair braided and you still feel like you're not beautiful,
mhm.
then it defeats the purpose. So you have to start within to actually feel beautiful. So that's why the book was actually created.
Okay. I have, excuse me, taken out the time to read this book. I just got the book yesterday.
Okay.
And I really love your book
Thank you.
because it teaches the young ladies how to have self-esteem about themselves, how to feel about their skin they're in, and to really be positive, to have a positive outlook on themselves and to feel confident about themselves and to feel positive, showing the other things that are about them.
Mhm.
So, what possessed you to write this book?
First, I got to start with myself.
Mhm,
I grew up not as confident as I am today. I wasn't quite not confident, but I didn't have, I always looked at what other people might have to say about me. I used to look in the mirror and be like, you think I'm beautiful? Like, for real? Like, I don't see what y'all see, you know? And
yeah,
people are like, what are you talking about? Like, you are beautiful. You are gorgeous.
mhm,
And, I get it all my life. And I was just like, I had a piece of me that nobody probably thought of that was like, you know, well, this is not perfect about me, or this is not perfect about me. And a lot of times it wasn't just about my outer, it was just like my attitude and how I might presented myself, or how I projected myself to be. I have been told that I have a strong personality. So I was like, people might not like me. So I always felt like I was judged off of different things. And I also was raised a little bit differently in a different nationality. So that was a part of the big thing as far as a confidence thing. Like, I was taught to have this.
mhm,
But deep down inside, it was like, I'm still not good enough. I'm still not projecting myself to be this great, confident, have self esteem, and really love yourself And no matter what it is, matter if it's the characters that you would carry, or if
Hmm.
it's just the outside beauty within all, like it's more so like I always felt like in some way somebody might say something. I was always cared about what somebody else would say. So with that, um, I was like, you know what? I had to go and start to work on myself and not
Hmm.
look at what other people might have to say about me, or how somebody else might view me, or what somebody else might think of me. But I had to start like going within myself, like, and I still struggle with that a little. I mean, it's not as bad as it was, but that's what made me look at it and be like, you know what? If I did it as a little girl, what other little girls might be struggling with this? You know, on the outside, a lot of people change the way they are, like by putting lipstick on. And there's nothing wrong with wearing makeup if that's something you choose to do. But I'm saying some people do it on a pretense of, um, well, what this person might say about my lips, or I might have a mark that could be a beauty mark, because a mark, they're never going to, where they try to cover it up because, you
Hmm.
know, it makes them, or somebody have told them, or numerous of times, like, you don't look right with that. And then they try to cover it up. So
Yeah.
covering up something, you know, temporary is not something that, you know, will cause you to feel beautiful. Like long term, that would just be temporary. So I'm like, well, let me find something to me first, to work on myself and to build my confidence and to build myself up, to make me feel that no matter what somebody says or how they might view me or what they might think of me, that
Yeah.
if my hair is nappy or my hair is straight, I'm beautiful.
I know
So
that's
when I started working
right.
on myself, it just inspired me to like really look at what, you know, other women like myself or even little girls might go through. And because the reason why I chose little girls, because it starts from there before you even get to a young lady, a teenager, and before you get into adulthood. You know, if you're not confident in building that as a child, then once you get to my age or a teenager, then it's like, you know, you got some work to do
Yeah.
to try to build that up. And it's a little bit harder once you get older. So if you start as a child, I guarantee you it gets easier. And the reason why I can say this is because I have, you know, little sisters that I've, you know,
Mhm.
helped along the way growing up, and they can vouch for me and say, yeah, she helps me understand that, you know, having this confidence and love within yourself and understanding it's just not beauty. You know, you look good, you got, you know, a nice figure and things like that, that, you know, if that all is well, because at the end of the day, you can be hurting inside because of all of the he say, she say, what you got to, you know, looking at you like, well, on the outside and telling you all
Yeah.
these things, and you're starting to accept it because you don't know how to deal with it. So yeah, that's what possessed me and motivated me and inspired me to write I'm Pretty, Positive, and Unique.
Yes. Um. When I was reading your book, um, I mean, I took my time to read every page, every line, every nuance of the book, and I commend you on the concept of your book. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you from. I'm gonna tell you from my point of view of this book. This
Mhm.
book is good because a lot of these issues in this book I've dealt with.
Okay.
A lot of these issues in this book I dealt with when I was growing up. Well, I didn't feel loved enough. I wasn't raised by both of my parents, and that kind of made me kind of stand out. You know, where you live when you stay with you're raised by your grandparents. They're kind of old fashioned, and they dress you old fashioned, and they do old fashioned things. And you got to, when it was time to get my hair done, it was okay. Well, you get your hair braided down the street with a neighbor. She did my hair. And then it was like, okay, my aunt said, okay, well, we're going to put a perm in her hair. Okay, so that was something. And then it was, trying to keep the hair up. And my grandma didn't have that kind of money to go to beauty parlor like every week, every 2 weeks. And sometimes my hair would go, get kind of poof at the roots,
Hmm.
and then I was picked on in school, and that kind of messed my self-esteem up because the boys liked me, but they liked me for what they saw on the outside. And they didn't like what they on the inside.
Inside, right.
And then, not having a father figure in my life, it kind of really messed me up because I didn't know what an example of a man was supposed to be. How is he supposed to treat you? How was he supposed to address you? How was he? And then, I was falling for that. Oh, you so pretty. You so, ooh, you look this and that. And then, it's like, they tell you what you want to hear. Then you fall for the okie doke. And then for you know what I mean? It leads up to other things. So this book is very important for young ladies to understand that you have to have a love for yourself
Mm-hmm.
first.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you start loving yourself, a lot of things a lot of things when you hear them, you be like, really? Like you come off at me like, like that. And and it's like, no, I don't want to deal with you. You you kind of get a sense
Mm-hmm.
of how you want to be treated, how you want
Absolutely.
to be respected as a young lady, as a teenager, as an adult. And it carries over in your life and you be like, look, I'm better than what you're telling me because it's like, how could I say this? When I grew up, my grandparents raised me, and the thing was, it was this thing of, um, you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough. Grew up with that thing of, I could sing I'm a singer by nature. God
Yeah.
blessed me with singing, and it was a lot of, excuse me, player haters, and,
We still have those today.
we still got that, but now I know how to deal with.
Right.
Yeah, back then they used to hurt my feelings when they used to
Yeah.
make fun of me. I sing at church, and oh, she thinks she all that, and it was just, it kind of got to me as a kid because I didn't know how to handle that kind of criticism because I was dealing with that at home where, oh, I used to be, you dumb as a bowl of rocks, and you're never gonna learn anything because you don't stay in your books. And it was just, I had to grow up with a lot of self-esteem and self-doubt, and I know how that can affect somebody. But now it's like, if you ain't talking to me right, we ain't gonna have no conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't fit into your box, you know, it's we not gonna work because I'm not made like you. I don't have the same mentality as you. I don't have the same outlook on stuff because if you realize it, when you do take the time to change yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you take your time out to change yourself. You look at you, what you have to improve, and then you get to the point you have self-awareness of how you want people to treat you.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you get to the point where if they come off, I'll give you an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was at a friend's house. And we were sitting there talking, watching TV, and the young lady was talking. One of my friend that lived there, his friend was talking.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, you in the wrong place. And I mean, I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I got offended when she said that. And I kind of like, what do you mean by,
I'm
what
in
do
the
you
wrong
mean
place.
I'm in the wrong place?
Right.
Said, when she said it, I kind of went to the old me. I went back to the old me. Like, I'm gonna tell you, don't tell me about myself. I'm gonna tell you about yourself. You know that. But now that I look back on it, maybe I'm thinking she was right because my spirit won't with what they was doing. My spirit won't, into that party scene and stuff like that. She was like, you in the wrong place. Your spirit ain't set a is not for this. Your spirit is not into this. And I looked at it different, but now I look at it as maybe she was right.
Was right. Yeah. Because we
And
outgrow things. We outgrow scenarios. We outgrow the same type of environment that we might have been okay with in the past. And I wanted to actually, you spoke about a few little topics and little things that when you were saying as far as once you read the book and things like that, I wanted to touch base on a few things that you said if that was okay for me too.
proceed.
Okay, so you had said something about as far as with growing up without your father, it makes you not understand what someone else should be saying, or actually another guy.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I might have had, not might, I've had those type of issues in the past too, when it comes to how do a man, supposed to treat you. And it's not to get into a relationship aspect of it, but you
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
that confidence within yourself that
Yeah.
you have to project. So if you are growing like a little girl and you
Mhm.
don't have, you have your parent there, and it depends if you raised your mother, your grandmother, your auntie, or in general, like if you don't have that
Mhm.
father figure there, that
Yeah.
can almost make you feel like worthy. It's a certain energy around that, and I'm real big on energy, and that's one of the reasons why we're going
Yeah.
to actually talk about affirmations and things like that. But it's all about the energy. It's all about, if you do not have that type of energy where it comes to being worthy, like you're worthy as a little girl to be loved and to be
Mhm.
embraced on how you're supposed to be treated, and
Yeah.
being beautiful, then that can cause you to lose self-esteem as well, because you like, well,
Mhm.
you can look at other kids growing up and you like, well, they got their father there and they got their
Mhm.
mother, then what's wrong with me? It must be because I was stupid, or it must, and you start thinking all type of negatives about yourself, and you
Mhm.
start thinking
Like,
about,
why
well,
didn't you?
maybe,
Yeah.
you don't know the
Yeah.
reason why. As a child, you're not understanding what happened between your mother and father, and the reason
Yeah.
why you
Or
was
why
not
they
raised
didn't
with
want
both.
to.
It might not be something bad, but your mind as a kid don't know that. So you're going to
Yes.
automatically start thinking the worst things, and you're going to start, and then
Yep.
if somebody can be telling you like, well, your father didn't love you, your father didn't, and that's not what happened to me.
Yeah.
I wasn't raised with my father, but I did see my father growing up.
Yeah.
And then for a
Mhm.
long period of time, he was absent out of my life to where I didn't see him at all. And right
Mhm.
now, me and my father has the greatest relationship. I love my father.
Mhm.
But when it comes to
Yeah.
him coming back into my life, I did start feeling a certain type of way, because I'm like, well, I got my
Yeah.
mother and my father in my life now. You
Yeah.
start feeling like you're whole and you're complete. But
Mhm.
you can actually, if you start to understand that you're worthy as a child, no
Yeah.
matter what happened,
Yeah.
between your mother and father. And that's why it starts as a young girl, is because you
Mhm.
won't have to grow up in your teenager's life worrying. And that's another thing, you're worried. You're starting to put all of these different doubts and things, and it makes you really
Yes.
feel bad. It makes you feel, like, you're not all the way 100% love. Like you feel
Yeah.
love a little bit, but
Yeah.
when you're not raised with both, then it can leave a certain mark in your heart,
Yeah.
and that
After.
which can cause internal things to
Okay.
develop. And then as you get grown and you get older, then now you're starting to tell yourself all these things, and you believe it. And if you
Mhm.
believe it, whatever, to me, whatever you believe, you will
Mhm.
manifest that to come into your life. So
Yes.
the reason why it's an affirmational journal, you did, and before I speak into that, you said something about, I was going to say, before I go into this, you mentioned what people were saying, and how they would say like downplaying you, making you
Yeah.
like, oh, well, you don't have this, and you not, qualified for this, or you're not beautiful for this, or you're not. And a lot of us going to experience that, or have experienced that, as a
Yeah.
child. And when it start going into your workplace, and it just start
Mhm.
judging you on like
Yes.
what you got on, you don't
Yeah.
have the tightest outfit, or it's not tight enough, or it's not loose enough. It's just all type of
Yeah.
judging that goes
Yes.
around. And when you're a little
Yes.
girl, it's always,
Uh-huh.
you have an expectation already that you're supposed to be sitting a certain way, and you're supposed to, and you do. But at the same
Yes.
time, when it comes to, if you don't have that, and somebody
Yeah.
can downplay you, and they can start talking all type of negative stuff. Oh, you ugly, or you shouldn't have these in your hair. Your hair should be long. Your hair is too short.
Yeah.
I mean, so many
Or,
different things that young
maybe
girls
you need.
have to
Yeah.
go through. Like, I was a
Mhm.
young girl, so I understand. Like, I, for one, I
Mhm.
have long hair. I've
Yes.
always had long hair. So with me having long hair, I've had girls to be jealous and envious
Mhm.
of me because of it. And I'm
Mhm.
like, well, you can have your long hair too. I've
Yeah.
always been that type, like, we can do this together. Like, here, you want
Yeah.
some, like, you
Yeah.
don't have to
Mhm.
hate me, or you don't have to envy
Yeah.
me because of it. So I
Yeah.
wanted to say words are very powerful, because
Yeah.
when you speak a
Mhm.
downgrading to someone, you downgrade
Yeah.
this person, you say how you look stupid, you look dumb. People as a child start to believe this. They really start to
Yeah.
believe it. And then they be like, well, maybe I am dumb. Or like, for instance, a person that knows how to sing or act, or they're trying to
Mhm.
just do something that they know they have a skill at when they're
Yeah.
young. And
Yeah.
a person, they're even their own parents or their siblings or somebody in their family. And that's the reason why I say family, because them the ones that will say it the most, and that's the ones that needs to be uplifting them more than their friends
Mhm.
or the stranger in the
Yeah.
street. But
Yes.
if you have the person that you look up to, grandmother, father, sister, brother, mother, saying, well, oh, shut up, you don't know how to sing, or oh, shut up, you don't know how to do this. It's words
Mhm.
are powerful. You're gonna start
Yeah.
saying it like, okay, as a kid, you ain't gonna tell your parents to shut
Yeah.
up. Yes, I do. You know, you're gonna be like, okay, well, I'm gonna be quiet. Maybe I don't know how to
Yeah.
sing. And then a
Mhm.
lot of them dreams and things that, they
Get
might have wanted
crushed.
to do when they got older, it's
They
all
get crushed.
crashed because of the words they've been telling themselves, or not telling themselves, but what somebody else been feeding them, and then they start believing it.
Yeah.
So as a little girl, if you pick up this book, I'm Pretty Positive and Unique, it's an
Yes.
affirmational journal where you can actually sit down, and we're going to go into this, but you can sit down and start rewriting those words, because if you write
Yeah.
the words, the more you write the words, you will
Yes.
believe it. You definitely will
Mhm.
believe it. And I
Okay.
myself went
Mhm.
into that. I had to do that over and over and over. I have books and books and books and books filled with
Yes.
affirmations where I had to
Mhm.
start retraining my brain to
Yes, you
go
do.
from I am worthy, I
Yes.
am confident, I
Mhm.
am amazing, I am beautiful. Like really telling myself that, look in the mirror. Then I write it down and look in the mirror. And I have to tell myself that for a minute when you first start, it might be like the scariest things. Like, you might run away from
Mhm.
it. Like, no, I'm not this. Because if you've been told so much that you're not, you almost
Yes.
afraid of it. But you have to
Yeah.
constantly do it daily. Like it's literally a daily process. If you take a minute, two,
Yes.
three, just to write it down, it's like a
Mhm.
whole life changing experience. If the more you do it, the more you start believing it.
Okay. Let's pick out one affirmation out of your book and let's
Okay.
discuss that.
Well, you said you had read the book. So which one that you said that you read and you kind of started feeling like it touched you a little bit, or is it experience something that you actually experienced?
I will go with affirmation number 17. I am confident. I am
Okay.
confident. I am confident.
All right. So when it comes to confidence, first, hmm, you have to have a certain posture. When you walk in a building,
Yes.
they have to know, wait a minute, who is this? I'm not afraid. I'm not
Yes.
afraid to speak my mind. I'm not afraid
Mm-hmm.
to, for instance, if I trip over a broom, I'm not going to
Yeah.
be ashamed in it, but you're going to step back up and you're going to
Yeah.
walk
Stand
just with that
tall.
posture that you
Mm-hmm.
came in with, because
Yes.
you cannot be afraid of what somebody else might think or say about you. You have to
Yeah.
have the confidence within yourself, whether it is you cooking, whether
Yep.
it is you driving, whether it
Yes.
is you go into your room and you start to just play music and you start to
Yes.
dance and you all
Yes.
alone by yourself. It all
Mm-hmm.
starts from your home. So if
Yes.
the confidence literally is built from within yourself, you can be in
Yes.
a car and I can be,
Yeah.
ooh, you singing, or as a
Mm-hmm.
young girl, and I see a lot of little girls now where
Yeah.
they starting to do all these little dances on
Mm-hmm.
TikTok.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
got these
Yeah.
dances
On
going on
Instagram.
YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I see
Yeah.
confidence within some girls, and I'm like, build that, keep that,
Yeah.
because you're showing the world that you don't care who watches you. You don't
Yep.
care who looks at you. You don't care how many people are not liking your stuff. All you care is it makes you feel good. And that
Yeah.
is the number one key, is that
Yeah.
you feel good. It doesn't matter what nobody else think. It don't matter what nobody else say. It's how you feel. And
Yes.
once you really understand that that's all that matters, it
Yes.
start to build you up to a space where nobody can bring you down. And even
Yes.
if you do get to a point where you start to feel down, You have it so embedded in you that it's
Yes.
okay to feel it for a moment, and you be like, you
Mhm.
know what? I'm gonna shake it off and I'm gonna keep on
Yep.
going.
Yeah. That's
Because
what we
it's
have to
okay.
do.
You're gonna have those days. You're gonna have those
Yeah.
days when you don't feel good. We go through our little emotions. We emotional
Hmm.
roller coasters as women. We know. So as
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
girl, you gonna go through those changes. Your
Yeah.
hormones is gonna change. You're gonna
Yeah.
start, stepping into the little ladyhood, and we all know what that is. And you ain't gonna
Yeah.
like yourself for a moment. You're gonna feel bloated. You're gonna feel all type of emotions going on.
Yes.
But at the end of
Yes.
the day, affirmations, saying affirmations in the morning, saying them at night, saying,
Hmm.
I am confident.
Hmm.
I am confident when I wake up. I'm
Yes.
confident throughout my day. I'm confident when I go to work. I'm confident when I drive. I'm confident when I step into the building, no matter what building I go to. I am
Yes.
confident. When you say those words to yourself, you're going to be
Yes.
like, I'm confident. And if you
Yeah.
start to
It kind of
disbelieve that,
it kind of makes your spirit real happy,
yes,
and it brings joy to your mind. It brings happiness
absolutely.
to your heart, and those things, like, okay, like when I first thought about this program, I said, I don't know, I'm thinking about it, I don't know. But God said, step out on faith, because I didn't give you these ideas just to sit on them. I didn't give you these ideas to just, all right, write them down, put them in a box, and that's it. That's all they're gonna sit there and just sit there and get the paper turned yellow. I want you to do something with these ideas. That's another thing that us as young ladies, as we get a little older in our teen years and our young adult years, we have to learn that we have to be confident when God gives us ideas,
Absolutely.
thoughts, think. Oh well, create this program.
Hmm.
Like God spoke to me about my 4 programs I do.
Hmm.
Morning Word and Worship, Let's Talk Sunday, Think About Sunday, Authors Excerpt Sunday. He says, do these programs because somebody needs help in each of these in these spaces.
Absolutely.
So, and then I had to step out there on faith and have confidence about, God says, don't worry about the ones that don't answer the call. You work with the ones that do answer the call
Hmm.
for this program here. And you work around, you go ahead and invoke those ideas. That's another part of confidence, that we have to learn how to step out on faith when God
Absolutely.
gives us things to do, when God speaks to us and says, write the book, okay, and make it plain. Okay,
Absolutely.
yeah, make it plain. He didn't say it was going to be easy, but I want you to go ahead and proceed to do the writing of the book,
Absolutely.
and then he will send you those people and places and things that you need for that dream to manifest. For me,
Absolutely.
I gave you a vision, I gave you a thought, I gave you an idea, you are a creature that is created to I created you to create. So, and that was the thing that we have to learn as women, as the older that we get, is stop waiting on other people's approval to do something God told you to do.
Absolutely. That's faith plus strength equals
Yes,
confidence. Like you have
yes.
to have the faith
Hmm.
and you might not know why. But
Yeah.
one thing I do know is that this book
Mhm.
was written through the pandemic.
Yes.
And I thought about writing books prior to, and I'm actually still in the process of writing another book.
Okay.
But it's for women.
Yes.
And it's gonna be called, I ain't want to say it yet. You know what? I'm gonna wait for the next one.
Yeah. Yeah. We gonna
But
wait. We gonna wait on it.
yes, but I wrote this in the
Yes.
thoughts of what young girls can actually be going through right now in
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
this something that's totally new to the world. And it
Yes.
was like, what can I do to help, them to stay strong and to have the
Yeah.
faith to know we're going to win in this.
Yes.
We might
Yes.
have went through some challenges in this, but even
Hmm.
through the challenges in this, we have to hold strong and we have to have the faith to be able to continue to move forward in
Yes.
this,
Yes.
together. And
Together.
without being together and being one
Hmm.
with this, it was
Yeah.
like you're not going to get as far as you would like to. So
Mm-hmm.
it builds yourself up through this and to keep yourself calm, because a lot of stuff didn't happen through this. A lot of racket, a lot of stuff didn't happen through
Hmm.
this. And
Yeah.
with understanding that you can still be positive, you can
Yes.
still be your unique self, and you can
Yeah.
still be pretty, but you can
Hmm.
also not feel like, oh, this is the end of the world and I
Yeah.
have to just lose everything that I have and
Mm.
which is mine characteristics and go out here and do crazy things. You can still go within yourself,
Yeah.
be calm,
Yes.
and not, and even through the, like I said, it's gonna be challenges. It ain't gonna be where you just gonna be calm every day. I'm
Mhm.
not the one to fake it. I'm very real. I've
Okay.
had my moments. I have three
Yeah.
children, three boys.
Hmm. Yes.
And
Yes.
I have been
I know
tried and I
that's
have
right.
been tested. And I
Yeah.
also have been through my downtime. I'm
I
not
know that's right.
perfect. No one is. This
I know
book is
that's
not even written to be make you feel like you're gonna be perfect at it,
yeah.
but it is to help you through those challenges. It is
Yes. Yes.
help you to get
Yes, it
past the
does.
challenges. It
Yes, it
helps you
does.
to more get stay more in alignment, and
Yes.
also to get back on track and to
Yes.
put your energy back in place to where you could continue forward to achieve the goals that you set forth for yourself. Because you might
Yes.
have a goal that, oh, I want to start, for instance, for little girls, I want to do modeling. I want to do a model or acting. And they
Yes.
might feel like that's something that they want to do. But
Yeah.
if you have that down moment that somebody's telling you, oh, I can't, you ain't gonna ever be this, you
You
ain't
don't
gonna
want to
ever
do
do
that.
this,
You don't want to do that.
you
Yeah.
can go and you can refer back to this. I'm pretty
Mhm.
positive and unique. And you can
Yes.
go to your affirmations, and it's a spot where you
Mhm.
actually can write it down. We went to
Yes.
confident, but we have,
Yes.
I respect my body, I am kind. And you can go
Yes.
back and you can start going through it and you can just read your
Right.
own, I'm brave, I'm amazing. You go
Yep.
back and you have a space where you actually write it down
Yeah.
yourself of how you
Yeah.
feel. And then you start to talk to yourself like, okay, let me go back because somebody just made me mad. And it's gonna happen.
Hmm.
Somebody gonna pee you off. It could be your
Yeah.
kids or whatever. And if it's for little
Yeah.
girls, it can be your mama, it can be your daddy, it can be your friend, it can
Yeah.
be anybody.
Hmm.
But when you get
Yes.
thrown off balance, it's
Yeah.
okay to get thrown off balance. Ain't nobody gonna fight you and get mad at you like you're off balance.
Hmm.
You need to go. No,
Yeah.
it's okay, I'm off balance. All right. And then
Let
you
me get
have the
myself back
book to
together.
help you get back balance. That's what
Yep.
it's written for. It is
That's
written
right.
for you to be able to pick it up at any moment of the day and just
Hmm.
woosah, read and write out your thoughts and
Yes.
put it down. And then a lot of times writing
Mhm.
stuff down that you can't really tell nobody, or something you
Yeah.
can't let out to your
Yeah.
parents
That's
and you want to
yeah.
just
That's
take it out your brain. I
yeah.
have a space for you to be able to do that. That's why it's so simple. I wrote this
Yeah.
book to simplify it to where they have information, they know what informations are, and they also have a space they can read it. So when they do go through those experiences, they can
Uh-huh.
be like, you know what? It's not a diary, but
Yeah.
it's a place for them to jot down their feelings and to
Yeah.
jot down how you feel. You might not feel
Yeah.
good at the moment.
Yes.
You might want to write down you're not feeling good, and that's okay. It's your
Hmm.
book to do what you want to do with it, but it
Hmm.
got the affirmations to back up that not good feeling at the end of the day, so you can turn around and make yourself feel good. And your only really job is to just feel just a little bit better. It ain't to make you just all the time wake up and I just in this positive energy. But the more and the more and the more you do it, you're gonna
Yeah.
start having a
Feeling
lifestyle
that.
that's
Yeah.
gonna just build yourself up to have
Yeah.
this amazing,
Positive,
powerful,
positive,
positive energy.
positive, and the energy in the morning, and you start your day off with, okay, thank you, Lord, for allowing me to see another day. Thank you,
Yes,
Lord, for allowing me
being
to have
thankful.
activity in my limbs, and I can breathe, and I can talk, and I can see, and I can taste, and then you'll have a thankful spirit, instead of, just like this morning. I wanted to start complaining, and then the song just popped in my head. I was sitting on my back porch, and I said, "Okay, all right, Lord," and I was like, "Okay." And then and then it came to my mind. I said, share this with people, because we don't know how people are getting up in the morning. We want to have be thankful in the morning and show, and ask God, say, look, I just thank you for allowing me to see this day. And
I'm
like
thankful
this song,
for a roof over my head. I'm
I'm
thankful for
thankful,
clothes.
yeah.
You got to literally be thankful for every
Yeah,
little thing. I'm thankful for the food.
everything,
Thankful for just
everything.
being able to open my eyes. Some people wasn't able to do
Mm-hmm.
that this morning,
They
So
sure
just
are. They
the
sure
little
are.
bitty
Yeah, yeah,
thankfuls, it
yeah.
it, it creates more things to be thankful for.
Yes,
So absolutely.
yes, it does. So, Miss Zipporah Israel, it was a pleasure having you here on Authors Excerpt Sunday. And I want to say, where can we purchase your book?
Well, absolutely. My book is on Amazon and it's
Mhm.
also through my personal website, www.markyourbeauty.com. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook, Mark Your Beauty.
Oh, okay. All right. So, I want to be the person that you come to when you finish publishing your next book. Okay.
Yes,
So keep me in mind when you ready to do your next interview for your next book.
yes. I
Mr.
appreciate you.
Palmer,
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. You're welcome. And I hope that you have a pleasant evening. And thank you so much for coming out to Authors Excerpt Sunday. Okay, darlings?
Thank you, Miss Johnson. I really appreciate you having me on, and I'm so happy I can be able to share my story, my journey, and my book and the reason behind it to the
Yeah.
world. It gave me that opportunity, and I appreciate you for that. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, my darling. All right. Thanks again,
Have
everyone,
a
for
good
tuning
one.
in. And we have our special guest, Zipporah Israel, aka Mark Your Beauty, here for our special guest for Authors Excerpt Sunday for June the 6th, 2021. Thank you, Miss Zipporah, for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And everyone, you have a blessed day. Okay, Miss Zipporah, I'll see you later. Okay, babies.
Bye
All
bye.
right. Thank you. Bye bye.